So we're back here this morning. Fortunately, we were able to contain the fire last night, make it safe enough for the Sheriff's Department to post an overnight patrol so that we can come back out in the daylight and do an investigation. From this point on, it's the Orion Township Fire Department's Fire Prevention Division spearheading a investigation in collaboration with the Oakland County Sheriff's Department. We're using ATF resources as well. Consumers Energy and anybody else that's involved in order to make sure that we do a complete investigation on this. Currently, we have no updates. We're reaching out to the hospitals in order to be able to get updates on the victims from last night. So today is going to be slow and methodical. It's a process in order to, right now, the Sheriff's Department is assisting us by flying drones over so that we can get some 3D mapping of the incident. We're seeing a debris field that's rather large, so it's going to take us some time to do that. We're going to work with Consumers Energy a little bit later to make sure that the gas line in is safe and secure. We did that last night, but this is just a double check. And then it's just really slow from here. We want to make sure that we do a good job and do everybody right by this, so it's just a slow process. And then later on, I believe in the township, we're going to try and identify the organizations that are going to provide assistance to the families, and we'll try and get that information out too.
And you mentioned the just blast zone is really big, and you were able to see it from the drone. Just how sprawling is the debris?
Right now, we think we have stuff that's up to 300 yards away. So we're doing what we need to do to make sure that everything is safe and secure, and we can document everything that we need to document.
I know you're still trying to wait for updates on conditions. Is it just 2 people in critical, and do we know how many others with minor injuries?
I don't have any updates on victims right now. We're currently reaching out to the hospitals. We have some of our EMS liaisons that are actually going to the hospitals this morning in order to make contact to be able to get that information out later.
And we don't know where the victims were at the time of the blast, if they were in the buildings?
Not right now, no.
The debris appears to have miraculously blown only into the open area around here. It's pretty amazing the way this thing pushed forward instead of into some other building directly.
The debris actually, we can see it in the open areas because that's where it didn't hit. We see it up against cars or up against other buildings too. So I mean, even though it looks, and the way these buildings are oriented, we generally see it goes one way. So we're seeing a forward backward and not necessarily a circumferential. But we are seeing damage to buildings on every side, yes.
And do you know which unit was the source of the explosion? And how do you even start to investigate a building that looks like this for a source?
So we don't know the source right now. It's an outside to in. So we start at the furthest point and we just start making our way in. And like I said, it's a very methodical process. So I anticipate if we get this investigated in the next week, I would be impressed with our investigators. So this could be a 2 or 3 week process.
All right, but from your experience, when you see a front door across the street, that's got to be a pretty big blast, doesn't it?
Yes, and we've got some Ring cameras are amazing nowadays and stuff like that. So we do have some footage of the blast from a distance that we're going to use in order to piece some of that together. But yes, it was to use the bad word, it was impressive to see the explosion happen. Yes.
That's kind of my next question. I know you've been doing this a long time. You're very familiar with tragedies and different types of emergencies. When you look around and you see what the heck happened here, what goes through your minds?
I think we're very fortunate to be able to walk away last night having everybody accounted for, and to say that we have as few in critical condition as we do. This could have been much worse. So at this point in time, I think we're really fortunate that we have as little as we have.
And is there anything that you guys are now seeing? This is the first time you guys are laying eyes on it on the daylight as well. Is there anything new that you guys are seeing here that you didn't know was a thing or see last night?
The biggest thing, at least initially, I think that we're noticing is just the size of the debris field is a lot bigger. It did spread out a lot larger than we anticipated last night. So you know, it expands our search for evidence.
A lot of the residents have been talking about how long they're going to have to deal with this. Is there any way to know how long this will take to, I don't know if you can get it back to normal, but get it back to normal?
Well, the initial recovery, we work with recovery efforts as we're doing the investigation. We should have all except the 2 units. It's the unit that exploded, and then 1 unit next to it that has major damage. All the other residents we hope to have I'll say by the end of the week, they should have some stability. And then, like I said, it's going to be a long methodical dig through those last 2 units.
Any idea how many units were displaced? I know the 4 here. How many people in that next home as well?
So I'm going to say we have at least 12 displaced units at this point in time. Last night we were very fortunate. A couple churches opened up, and then we were able to relocate everybody into families or friends. So at least at the moment for last night, we were able to get everybody taken care of. And then, like I said, this afternoon we're going to work with the township in order to get some resource lines or whatever it is set up for those in need.
I don't know. Any word on pets? I know we were hearing people saying about someone screaming about a cat, possibly a dog inside. Were there any pets in these buildings?
I'm sure we've probably lost a couple, but we haven't been able to identify. I know last night there were a couple that were running around that we were unable to secure. So I'm not sure exactly on the pet count, but I'm sure a couple have perished.
I wasn't here last night, so I'm not sure how many people got evacuated, whether it was people or units, but I heard the number 15. I don't know if that was a complex number or what. Are the evacuees, were there some, and are they back?
There are some that have been placed back in their homes. We did, as just a precautionary, we evacuated probably twice as many people last night as we needed to. But last night we had the building department out here and have worked in order to be able to secure any home to make sure they were safe and get as many people back into their homes as possible. And then we'll continue to do that through today.
Have you seen anything that would indicate suspicion?
So we'll leave the investigation to the fire chief as we started. Last night he has taken command, and we're in an assist role, and we'll keep it at that.
And as far as what you need people to do now, I mean, is this, I don't know, is it a crime scene? What is it?
So our job right now is to provide resources to the fire department as they request it. And as of right now, the chief's indicated that he has all the support that he needs. And going forward, if he requests anything further, the sheriff's office will be willing to provide that.
I imagine a lot of people are gonna want to come by here today, check out after they see the news and stuff like that. Is there anything you would say to people in the community that would help you? As we get a lot of gawkers and things like that.
Well, I think everyone in the community is supportive and understands what's going on here. We haven't seen anything that gives us cause for concern. So I just think the community, hopefully they reach out. The township is very supportive. Supervisor Barnett has been here throughout the early evening last night, all night, and he's here again this morning. So if they have any questions or concerns, they can reach out to the township.
Just to kind of give you some space, though, to do what you need to do is
absolutely
probably the best thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you guys hear about the Amazon driver?
I did see an Amazon driver last night here in the area. So
Did you hear he was the one, at least one
I can't confirm or deny how that occurred. So we'll leave that to the chief and his investigation.